Hello and welcome back. So glad that I can make your acquaintance once more. So, what I want to talk about on today is the Basketball Wives. Or Basketball Wives. Is it the or just Basketball Wives? But the point is, okay, so VH1 being messy as per usual, and they posted this video of Jackie going to therapy with her two daughters. Now, I grant you that I am not familiar with all of the drama, but I'm making my judgment based off of what I'm seeing this season. I don't know how she was in the past seasons. I don't know what her relationship to her children is like. But I do think that for whatever reason, the audience is seeing it very one-sided, even when the evidence is showing you something different. Here's what was so interesting to me. On the clip that VH1 posted, it was Jackie going to therapy with her two daughters, and in her talking head, she was like, I'm a little nervous, and I'm paraphrasing, but something to the effect of, I'm a little nervous because I know my daughter said they don't want to go to counseling. Right then, that should tell you something. If Jackie is saying that her daughters weren't really pressed on going to therapy to work on their family issues, to me that tells you that she is trying. Because if they didn't want to do it and she went anyway, that means that she is trying to cultivate a relationship with them. Okay. That's number one. Number two, you have the two daughters, they're going in. But what I didn't hear was all the shit that everybody keeps saying occurred. At no point did I hear Takari or the other daughter say, you know what? She used to pit us against each other. She used to call me fat and dark skinned. All this stuff that the daughters are saying now, and things that maybe they said behind the scenes, or things they maybe even said on the show but not to her face. It's like, when you were in therapy, girl, y'all made it seem like, yeah, you took care of us, you put food on the plate, a roof over our head, but you didn't tuck us in at night. My thing is this, I'm not saying that that's not valid, because if that's something that you needed and you didn't receive, it's a shame. You know what I'm saying? It is a shame. But the reality of the situation is this, our parents are not perfect, they're just people too. And when it's all said and done, everybody ain't nothing but a big kid up in here. You know what I'm saying? We're all doing the best we can with what we have. But at the end of the day, your parents can only give you what they have. They can only give you what they know to give. Like, with my mother, I adore her. I love her down. But one of the reasons why we are where we are is because I was able to let go and forgive some of the mistakes that she has made with regards to my upbringing. Because I know that my mother loves me and she did the best that she could. And considering how she was brought up, she's done above and beyond the call of duty. You understand what I'm saying? There were things that she could have probably did better, but there are things that I could have done better. As far as everything, from Tamaya to the dog, the animals we have now, everything, like everybody could be doing better. And I just think it's real fucking silly to sit up there and be like, oh, Jackie thinks that material things is all that matters. Did you not hear the actual conversation? The grandmother lived in the house. She had the grandmother up the hallway. Both the daughters were like, yeah, well, not both. Or I think maybe both, but Takari was really the one saying, our grandmother was our mother figure. And so forth and so on. And when she passed away, we kind of lost that. But here's the thing again. The bottom line is, how do you think she got up in the house? Jackie chose to move her in. She moved her in. So that was a choice that she made. So again, that was her trying to provide that outlet for you because maybe she couldn't give it to you herself. And I don't think that makes somebody a horrible parent. I think that it's a shame. There's a difference between something being unfortunate and it being like, oh, you're an awful person. Because if a bitch is providing for their kids, but maybe they're not as affectionate as the child may have liked, again, it's unfortunate. But that doesn't make that person evil, or it doesn't make that person bad per se. It just means, girl, unfortunately, I wasn't able to come through in this area, but I came through in all these other areas. Whatever it is that you needed from me, girl, I provided. They confessed to that right there in the therapy session. I'm confused why everybody's making it seem like Jackie is like this evil, evil person. Maybe there's something I haven't seen on the show, just yet. But I think she's eccentric. I think she's out the box, but I don't think she's an evil person. Because like she said, if I wasn't here to tuck you in at night, because that's what the daughter said, she said, that's the problem. It was for you was trying to make sure that we had everything and that we had better than what you had, but you wasn't here to tuck us in at night. Girl, okay, you wanna know what? At this point, bitch, y'all grown. That's just the reality of the situation. There are things that my mother could have done better. And if I sat here, like, not willing to move forward until she gives me an apology. First of all, she has apologized. But even before then, it's like, let's just say she didn't. I can't, because even sometimes now I'd be thinking, dang, where would I be now if she would have fought a little bit harder to pull this string or pull that string. Different things that she herself has said, if I had only, with the Muslim school, just a lot of different things. But here's the thing. I know my mother loves me and she did what she thought was right at the time. And guess what? Whatever apology she's going to give me or not give me is not going to change what actually occurred. So you just kind of have to move on with your life. And it comes a time, Takari, that your parents can't be responsible. It's like they can be, they have to be accountable to a certain extent, but you're grown now. I'm sure her parents didn't do everything that she thought they should do. But regardless of the fact, girl, you're grown. It's just like, I feel like to me, it's just kind of annoying reading the comments and everyone's like, oh my God, I told you Jackie is evil. She's awful. She's this, she's that. And I'm like, but where did you get that from? Because I didn't hear that out of the daughter's mouth. At no point did she say, you put us in dangerous situations to where you invited predators into the home. You because of something you did, I got raped. Because of what you did, I got beat up. Because of what you did, none of what has happened to them, at least from what they are saying, was abuse. Whether it was emotional abuse or whether it was physical abuse. Because in that meeting, she didn't, because some people may say, oh, well, it's not just about the physical. Okay, fine. Even in that meeting, they did not express emotional abuse. They didn't say, oh, girl, well, mother, what it is, girl, you made me feel like I was ugly. You made me feel like I was ugly because I was dark-skinned and fat or whatever the case may be. She never said that. What she said was, you weren't really there because you was out hustling trying to put a roof over our head. If that's the worst thing she did, as a grown woman, now that you have kids of your own, both of you, you know how hard it is to raise a child. And maybe the younger daughter may not know because her child is new. But here's the reality. There's only a certain window. It's like, okay, when you first have the child is annoying. First of all, the child is going to be annoying forever. Let's start there. But when you first have the kid, the baby cries, it kicks and screams, it poops, it pees, it does all these things. You have to clean up and do everything for the child. Then, after a point, the child gets old enough to where it has its own thoughts and it has its own feelings and opinions. And you have to be able to raise the child the way you feel is best, while also, it's like so many things you have to balance, while also giving them the room to discover who they are. Every parent is going to make mistakes. No parent is going to get out unscathed. Everybody that has children, those children are going to have things where they feel like, oh, she could have did this better. They may never express it to you. They may never come out and bash you about it. But I'm sorry, I don't give a fuck when no one says there's no such thing as a perfect parent. There just isn't. There just isn't. It's not realistic. And if there is a perfect parent, girl, where is she? Where is he? Where is she? I don't know them. My mother, my father are not perfect. They used to fight in the house with each other physically. And you know, I used to hate that because I'm like, I love you both and I don't want to see y'all up here fighting. But they would. And so when they decided to separate, or when my dad left the way that he did, which was dirty, but I love my father down, but it was dirty because I guess he just packed up one night and just and booked it. And that left my mother in a lot of heartache, but at the same time, ultimately it was the best thing because you up here fighting around your kids. Here's my point. That's something they could have done different. But what difference do it matter? It's like, you think I'm really sitting here today like, oh my God, if only it's their fault that my life isn't going right because they broke up the family dynamic. Girl, no, because at this point, I'm 28. Whatever is going to happen to me is on me at this point. I can't be like, oh, because my dad was gone, he stayed in Phoenix, we came to Georgia, whatever. It happened the way it happened. Could it have been different? Well, no, because it happened how it was going to happen. So it is what it is. Like, I just kind of feel like, to me, if what I heard in that clip, how they were showing it, if you're highlighting, I don't see why, if they had the footage of them saying you were an awful mom and you did all this stuff to us in that therapy session, they would have aired it, girl, because you know they're messy. So the fact that they didn't air it tells me either, why aren't you telling her this to her face when you're in therapy? Tell her all the stuff you're saying in this book. Tell her. Because I don't know that I think all that shit is true. I'm just being real with y'all. And I know that's the unpopular opinion. I really don't care. Because to me, I'm able to see beyond, the popular opinion. Oh, this is what it is. Jackie's so evil. It's very easy to say Jackie is evil. But what I see is somebody that is very eccentric, over the top, and in a lot of cases does not understand how to articulate herself in an effective way that will help people to see her side of a situation, or that will help her present her case accurately. Because I'm sure that she did do some of the things that they said she did, but like I was telling my partner, I said, so let's just say it's true that she told the girl, something about Takari's skin tone, or something about her being fat. I don't think she called her daughter fat. And if she did, I don't think it's coming across the way that people are making it seem. Like, she is abusive, this, that, and the fourth, she is awful. Because we have seen Jackie is like eccentric. I don't think she understands some of the shit she says and how it comes across. In her mind, I think it's like, oh girl, well, I was just kidding. I was just joking. It wasn't that deep. Like, I don't think she gets it because she's old school and she don't get it. So what I'm saying is, you took out an extra 40, great. We're about to get a bundle. We have $80 of weed coming to the apartment. So I'm very excited about that, girl, because we've been dry for like 2 days, girl. We've been dry for like 2 days. But, yo, I don't know. What do y'all think about that? Like, I just kind of feel like, to me, it's just crazy to me. I'm not saying that Jackie is perfect. I'm not saying that she didn't make any mistakes. She said, I don't want to have to struggle to find something again. And like, okay, I agree with that. Yeah, because it's like, they just need to legalize this shit, girl. Because this is what's going to get people fucked up. Because people are going to smoke if they want to smoke, girl. And by you making it illegal, you're making people have to go. I think prostitution should be legal. I think all drugs should be legal. I don't think all drugs should be sold in convenience stores, but I think they should all be legal. And for a bitch that gets pulled over, or not pulled over, but like caught with like one of the drugs that is, what is it, class 1? I forget the terminology, but let's just say heroin or coke or something like that, or meth. Instead of throwing her in jail, girl, put her in rehab. Because it's probably just as expensive to put her in rehab as it is to put her in jail. So why would you put her in jail when what she really needs is some therapy and some rehab? See, these girls don't really be giving a fuck. See, this is the reason why, I really tried my best to make the most out of this life that I'm living. But I really am okay with when the universe decides it's my time. As long as, I really hope it ain't gonna be no final destination type shit, girl, because I'm really not trying to be on an airplane and then one of the wings goes flying off and now we're like spiraling towards the ground. Like, girl, I can't. Hopefully something like that happens, girl. Let me just be so like worked up that I'm just gonna pass out, girl, and don't even recognize that I'm no longer with you. Or if I come back, girl, it's gonna be like the others, bitch. All of a sudden I'm gonna be all up in the house like, I wonder, what's wrong with me? What if I'm already dead, girl? As I'm talking, I'm like, that's kind of what I do now. What if it's like, although I did just leave the mom before I did this, so clearly I'm not Nicole Kidman. Because in Nicole Kidman's case, she never left the house. Her and her kids, it was like, girl, why don't y'all ever leave the goddamn house? I low-key knew she was dead because I thought it was just a little weird. I'm like, girl, she's dead. But I thought it was an interesting twist that although she was dead, she didn't realize she was dead, and the people that she thought were the ghosts were actually the people who were alive. Isn't that like an interesting twist to the conversation? Really, when you see a ghost, they're not the ghost, you're the ghost? I thought that was kind of a nice little twist to it. I figured she was dead, but I didn't really understand what was going on. But the point is, it's just crazy to me because I just feel like these girls, they don't be giving a fuck. They don't. I don't know how I got onto that. Some kind of way, maybe I'll find my way back to how I got to there. But they just don't be giving a fuck. And it's kind of like, girl, I'll be okay when I leave. Because this planet is just too much. I mean, North Korea and the whole conversation with Trump and all this nuclear conversation is so selfish. I would say, in this particular case, I'm more on Trump's side, if I'm being honest. Only because I feel like Well, if you take action against us first, then girl, this is one of the instances where we have a right to respond back. If you bomb an ally of ours, girl, we have a right to respond back. Now, when all the girls in Yemen and in Syria, that's where we have gone wrong. Iraq, all that shit, where we just invade countries that have not done anything to us. And then maybe if there are girls in the country that have done something, go and get those girls. You don't have to bomb innocent people. See, that's where we went wrong. But in terms of North Korea, I kind of feel like, well, Miss Thing, if you're threatening to bomb the girls and drop missiles over top of their head, why should we not come for you? But where it makes me so angry, that's how I got to it. It makes me angry because look at how these people don't value the lives of their constituents, the lives of their people. If you know that we're gonna bomb you back, and that millions, if we bomb you back, girl, you may not wipe out Miss Guam. But girl, if we come back for you, girl, it's gonna be like Japan. Millions are gonna die, girl. Why would you even consider that? Like, it's just his ego. And then it's like the people, it's like I wish I could be in a place where if I were the leader of a country, I feel like I would do it the right way. And I could be wrong, you never know. But in my heart, I feel like I would do it the right way. First of all, what's his name? Ben Shapiro? I don't like him. I'll tell you why. He was having a debate with Jink. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of Jink because I feel like sometimes he be carrying. Although when I did my first pilot, he was sitting right next to me because I did it for the Young Turks. And it was funny because at the end of the pilot, he was like, "What's your name?" And I told him, he was like, "We have the same name." And I think maybe his middle name is my name, my first name or something like that. And he was like, he was very impressed at how I was able to just start and then like nonstop till the end. But so I'm not gonna give him too much. But the point is, in the debate that he had with Ben Shapiro, I didn't even watch the whole thing because I couldn't stomach to listen to his voice is aggravating. And he talks so fucking fast. I don't trust people like that. Because I talk fast too, but it's not because I'm trying to get over on the children. It's just because that's how I talk. With him, he comes across as like he's trying to sell you snake oil and he's trying to like blow through the small print. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, take this and like, so that you don't actually understand that while it is going to actually get rid of the bacteria in your leg, it's going to cause your other leg to fall off. So is it really worth it? You know what I'm saying? Like, can we find another alternative or what? But the point is, he had said something that I thought was so disgusting. And this is like, I would be okay with somebody busting him in his face. Like, I'm not that bitch to be like, oh, I'm nonviolent. I don't believe in nonviolence. I think violence is necessary when you're dealing with people who employ violence all the time. Like, I feel like our government employs violence against us all the motherfucking time. Other nations employ violence against their people all the motherfucking time. If they can employ violence, girl, we can employ violence too. And I feel like that's the only way they're going to listen. That's how I feel. And I could be wrong. I'm not saying that I'm right, but that's just how I feel about it. Ben Shapiro need to be knocked in his damn face. And the reason why he need to be knocked out is he going to say, oh, my wife was a doctor. Well, I think Jinx said something like healthcare should be accessible or whatever, how he said it. To me, it ought to be like the police and the fire department. You don't have to have an insurance card to call 911. It's a service that everybody gets because we all pay into it. I don't see why health insurance can't be, or healthcare can't be the same thing. I don't see why that's something where it should be for a profit. It's like the police get called in life-threatening situations. The fire department get called in life-threatening situations. And both are services that you can call at any point in time, and they don't be called before when you on the phone call with a person that's broken into your home. Okay, so who is your police care provider? They don't ask you all of that because it's not important. And when you're talking about people's lives, it should be not for profit. I'm so disgusted that people will even have that's even a debate. It should be not for profit. And it, like I told you, you know, over 50% of our discretionary budget is spent on the military. If you would even just cut half of that and put it back into the people, we could have universal health care to where anybody could just, number one, cut half of that and then maybe ramp up taxes a little bit just so that we're paying into the system for the health care. There's a way, but they just don't want to do it. It's just crazy to me. It's bananas. It's absolutely crazy to me. And it makes me just disgusted to just be on this planet sometimes, because it's like, it's crazy. It's just crazy. It just aggravates me. And the fact that Kim Jong-un will sit up here and be like, oh girl, we're going to bomb the children of Guam. What did Guam do to you? What did Guam do? All of a sudden you want to bomb these girls? Like, oh, okay. So, in his case, I'll be okay with the girls nuking him. Because here's the thing. If you just, well, maybe not nuking. Okay, what about this? Here's my next thought. First, I started to say nuking her. But now I'm thinking maybe we could just kill her instead of just coming for the entire country. You know what I'm saying? Because there still are girls there that are probably thinking, this nigga crazy too. So I don't think the whole of North Korea should suffer because of their one leader. But Kim Jong-un gotta go. If he up here threatening girls that ain't even did nothing to him. You know what I'm saying? Like, what? Kim Jong-un gotta go. But I also think our politicians gotta go too. It's just a fucked up situation. And that's the reason why I can't wait till my partner gets back here with this weed, because I am ready to roll a blunt. I'm ready to roll a blunt because I feel like every time I cut on my TV, it's some other shit going on. Then you had Miss Usher, and the girl came out with her Forever 21 one piece. Usher girl, if you knew you had herpes, here's the thing about it. If you knew you had herpes, girl, a lot of girls have herpes. But why you decided to have unprotected sex, girl, you do deserve what you're getting in terms of the scrutiny, because you knew you were diagnosed with herpes. I'm not going to judge him on that, because really I knew very little about herpes outside of the fact that they're bumps. But in terms of how you contract it, girl, I wasn't even put up on game entirely with that. Because you really don't know how he got it, girl. He could have been dealing with a female or a male who wasn't showing signs. And then, boom, now you have herpes. And so it's like, I really don't want to judge people who have herpes, because, girl, anybody can get herpes. Anyone can get it. And until you're a dead girl, it's never too late. You know what I'm saying, girl? It's never too late. You've been done shared a drink with somebody. Boom, now, girl, you got herpes. And do you want the girls kicking on top of your name? And I think sometimes, too, in society, when we carry and we kind of make fun of girls that have different diseases and different illnesses, that is what makes those illnesses spread. Because what happens is people don't get checked. People don't do their research. People don't protect themselves and others. And so because they don't want to be stigmatized, girl, they just pretend like nothing's going on. If I don't acknowledge a girl, it's not real. And so what happens is, girl, now it's like a wildfire, girl. Now the herpes is getting worse and worse and worse. All these HIV, all these different diseases is getting worse and worse and worse because the girls don't know any better, or they know better, but they're afraid because of how people are going to judge them. So we really need to break away from that, because to me, you don't know how these girls are getting these illnesses. And even if you do know how they got it, girl, the bottom line is, girl, it could be you. And until you are dead, girl, it's never too late. That's the part that I be trying to explain. It's never too late for some fucked up shit to happen to you. So in terms of him having herpes, I'm not going to read her on that, but I will read her for spreading the herpes. There really is no excuse for why you did that, Usher. Okay, that's number one. With this female, who, my friend, one of my good Judies, we were talking about it, and he said, well, but a video came out with Usher where he was on stage dancing with some big girls. And I said, okay, and he was just saying, well, that shows that maybe he, is into big girls. And I said, now, see, this is where the problem is about to come in. Because, see, everybody deserves love. Skinny, tall, big, fat, white, black, it don't matter. But I think it's real, trans, LGBT, we all deserve love and happiness. Where the problem is going to ensue is where people who are stigmatized or made fun of, the big girls, the LGBT girls, where we're going to find an issue for ourselves is when we allow these dirt queens. We need to shun these girls. And here's what I mean. When you have a rapper in a picture with a trans girl, and then that trans girl who was a fan, who probably was at a concert and got a picture, and when the individual was nice enough to take a picture with this bitch, When she turns around and uses that picture like, oh yeah, I sucked his dick. He was in Chicago about 2 weeks ago. Met up with him at the concert. Afterwards, we went to the Holiday Inn, and I did suck the cum out of his dick. Being real vulgar and real unnecessary and outside the box. Now you spilling all this tea that you just created. What you're doing is you're fucking it up for everybody else who really is just a fan. Because what's going to happen is, now this person is like on guard, like, yo, the person was at the concert, I took the picture, because she came up to me, she said she wanted a picture, and I wasn't going to turn the fan away. And then now she's trying to make it seem like I had sex with her. And the thing is, a lot of these rappers probably don't have no problem with the gay girls, the lesbian girls, the trans girls, none of that. But when we try to capitalize off of a situation, we make it bad for everyone. We make it bad for the rapper. We make it bad for, not even just for that one rapper. We make it bad for all the rappers, because now the other girls who are watching this are like, girl, fuck that girl. No. Because I'm not going to be caught up in no shit where people are trying to make me into someone that I'm not. And that's what I want to be clear about. There's nothing wrong with it, but nobody wants to be accused of doing something that they did not do. That's just the whole bottom line. And so, for me, it's kind of like when you do that, you're making it to where if another trans girl who's just a fan is like, girl, can I get a picture? They're going to be like, because, no. So now everybody is kind of getting pushed off to the side because of the actions of a few. So I feel like with that big girl, I'm like, what does that video really prove? Okay, I didn't see the video. He was just telling me about the video. But I'm saying, if he pulled the women on stage at the concert, but that don't prove shit. Maybe he was just trying to show love like, girl, let me show my big girl some love up in here. And so, maybe that's what it was. And maybe he does like big girls. But just because he may like big girls, don't mean he want that particular big girl. So it's like, to me, I low-key think she might be fabricating her story a little bit, because the girl who came out first was anonymous. And when she came out, she didn't have any tea that was public knowledge. Meaning, she was the first person to come out with this story. She was the first person to go to court and say, girl, I'm gonna sue this bitch. Although I do think she's low-key stupid, because I was reading the comments, or I was reading some of the I don't know what you call it, but for lack of better words, I was reading some of the facts of the case, and they were saying how she testified that when she got ready to blow him, there was some green sludge squeezing off to the side of his penis. Any type of sludge on a penis is going to be a no bueno. Okay, let's just be real. Right then, you should have backed away from the plate. But she didn't back away from the plate, because she said that she had asked Usher, what is this green slime off to the side of your dick like it's Nickelodeon? And she said that Usher told her something like, oh girl, I'm on some new medication, or whatever it was that she said he said. There would have been I wouldn't even have asked him the question, because you have to be your own advocate. And the moment you see some shit that is looking out of sorts, right then it should have been like, you should have pulled the emergency brake, and the whole evening should have stopped right then, as far as sex was concerned. So, why she continued to suck his dick was just beyond me. But I feel like she is probably telling the truth, that she has herpes and she got it from him specifically. But then I was reading another article with the big girl where they were saying that, well, her point is, although Usher did not give her herpes, it was the fact that he could have exposed her. And the fact that he endangered her, she wants $20 million. Girl, you're trying it. See, bitch, you stupid. You just want a coin. See what I'm saying? It just feels very like she's trying to get a coin. And then you have the R. Kelly situation where her family, this bitch is grown. And even if he is being manipulative, unfortunately, that's not illegal. Now, at the time that you start to get the proof that she's in danger, he has harmed her in some kind of way, there's some type of tape, audio, something that outlines that there is a critical situation going forth. It's too much. And really, R. Kelly should sue them, because he had to cancel his tour because the ticket sales were so low because of all this drama. So at this point, you're slandering him because you haven't actually provided any receipts that, for me, would make me think that, even though I think he is a creep, I do think he's like, he has one song that I really like, which is I Believe I Can Fly. And outside of that, I'm thinking, I don't really know what other songs from him that I actually like. I do view him to be creepy. I do think that he's probably a pervert. He got tried for that one case. I'm not exactly sure how he wasn't convicted of the crime with the younger girl from before that he peed on. But the point is, although all of that is true, that has nothing to do with this new case. And as far as this new case is concerned, in my book, until you provide me the evidence, I may not like him, but I can't convict him off of you feeling like something is wrong. Give me the evidence I need, and then, girl, we can convict her. I low-key feel like in another life I was a lawyer. I need to be a lawyer, girl. I feel like one of these days I'm going to be like 30 years old trying to become an attorney. By the time I turn 50, girl, I'll have my own firm. Because I feel like, but then the only thing I don't like about being a lawyer is I don't want to take on any case where I feel like I'm having to protect someone that I know is guilty. I don't want to do those type of cases. Like, I would need the freedom to pick and choose who I want to represent. I don't want it to be a situation where it's like people are just dropping shit on my desk and telling me to defend this person, even though as I'm looking at the evidence, I'm like, well, girl, but she did kill him. And it wasn't self-defense. And it wasn't a crime of passion. So really, she don't have a leg to stand on. You planned it out. You had a plan for months. You paid this bitch. And what it was is, girl, you were sloppy. And so now for me to have to build a case to prove someone's innocent that I know is not is like something that I couldn't do. But I just think that in R. Kelly's case, getting back on point, I don't know that in this case I can convict him because I don't think that they have provided me with enough evidence to suffice for the point they're trying to make. It's not enough. It's not sufficient. When you can show me how he has abused your daughter, when you can illustrate why she is in danger, then we can act. Because see, it gets dangerous. When you can kick a bitch's door in, when you can drag a bitch into court just off of a feeling, none of us are safe. Nobody. Because that means someone can tomorrow say, oh, well, Quadir raped me. Okay, so I think if somebody is making that accusation, they should be heard. Okay, so he raped you. What evidence do we have? When did you meet up with him? You can't provide text messages, phone calls, when we met, where we went. Right away, that should be thrown out. I shouldn't literally have to go to court on some shit that is very obviously a lie. And anytime, once we start going down that road of just the accusation alone, your reputation is ruined, your well-being has been destroyed, like, your income, like, once we start down that path, it gets very dangerous. It's a slippery slope down. And so, I feel like we may not like R. Kelly for the things he's done in the past, and maybe even for who he is today, because I still think he's creepy even today. But I can't, although I feel that way about him, I can't allow that to color what's going on with this new case. Low-key, no tea, I don't know how we got from, how did I even open? Jackie Christie, all the way down to R. Kelly, girl. But see, this is what happens when you're with family, girl. The conversation, let it flow. Let it flow, let it flow, let it flow. Everything's gonna work out fine, you know. Like, I just feel like that's how it is when we get together. But I'm gonna get ready to wrap this up because there's some things that, oh my God, you guys, there's so much on my plate. So much on my plate. It's like I'm back to kind of like a point where I'm like exhausted again. And you know what? I know why I'm exhausted though. You know, with the music, even though I pumped it out quickly, okay, let me put it like this. As an artist, I think, in my case in particular, because I feel like, as Mariah Carey said, there's a light that shines so brightly within the inside. In my heart, I feel like there will never come a time where I cannot create. There will never come a time where I don't serve a plate. However, when I abuse myself, the quality of what I'm doing, the consistency of what I'm doing suffers. Because when I'm not allowing myself downtime to relax and not be working or not really think about work, I become exhausted. It's like I'm still a person. I may be the source, but I'm still a human. You know what I mean? Like, I still need to let myself rest. I just feel like, y'all, I'm ready for something to break. You know what I'm saying? I was telling my partner, I said, what if we went on to like World Star and all these blogs and just sent them dead to me? Because here's what's so crazy. Like, on YouTube, it's so crazy to me. People will say, oh my God, you know, this is amazing. I love this. But they don't share it, girl. They really don't share it. And it's kind of hurtful. I mean, it is what it is. Like, it's so interesting. Because here's what I was saying to my partner and our videographer who came over yesterday. We talked about Mother Pat, and we got a lot done. So it's looking like we're getting ready to shoot Mother Pat. But in any case, you know, when I was in Los Angeles, one of my good friends, his ex-wife, I mean, there's money on top of money. Her mom is a famous jazz singer. His dad was in a famous group that we all know. Was one of the leads in a famous group we all know. And her friend, my friend does not like her friend. I liked him. I didn't have a problem with him. He was okay. But his family, he's an heir. Is that what you call that? He's an heir because his family owns a diamond mine and they have like hella coins. And so one day, because I was her PA, my friend paid her to hire me as her assistant. And so, because what it was is he would always give me money just to help me. Because he bought this laptop, actually. But anyway, so he would pay her so that I could work for her. Just so that, because I kind of felt like, I don't want you to just give me money. I want to feel like I'm earning it, girl. Like, so that's what he did. So that he could still give me money. He was like, okay, well, just be her assistant then. And so one day after work, they had rolled a blunt. Not my friend, but the billionaire and the ex-wife of my friend. We're at her house, and we had a blunt, and we're smoking. And we were just kikiing, and I think maybe I had on, like, some Chucks and some sweatpants and a T-shirt. Because I was working. I didn't need to be, like, dressed down to the nines, you know what I'm saying? And so some kind of way, I don't remember who said it, if it was him or her, but they both agreed with the sentiment, which was, they were like, oh, my God, you are so down to earth and so humble. We have to keep you away from the people who could change your life. They work with the Kardashians, Kanye, Katy Perry, like all these A-listers and people who are really relevant. You're friends with these people. You have them in your home. You go to their home. Kathy Hilton, all these different girls that are clients. And you're going to say that to me? That you want to keep me away from them because you want to keep me normal? And then they went on. They started like, yeah, he's so sweet. He's so... Look at him. I mean, he's just normal. He has sweatpants on and Chucks. And that hurt me. I didn't express it to them. But in my heart, I was very hurt by that because I'm like, if you say that you think I'm all that in a bag of chips and you know that I'm here for a reason, like I didn't just come to Los Angeles just to be here through happenstance, like I'm just here. I'm here because I'm trying to pop my career off. And why can't I be both? Why can't I be humble and have some success? But they confirmed what I already knew about me. The blessing about me is also my curse, which is I always wanted to be accessible. I always wanted people to feel like they could reach out to me and touch me. But then the problem becomes I'm too accessible. And then what happens is in people's minds, I'm like that diner that they want to keep to themselves because they don't want to ruin it by everybody learning about it. And I was like, oh my God, this was my favorite neighborhood diner. And now everybody's here. It's crowded. It take me 30 minutes to get a donut. You know what I'm saying? Like, I knew early on, but in my mind, I'm like, I didn't want to believe that. Because I'm like, but why, if you love me, why would you want to keep me to yourself? If you know I'm trying to do things, spread the word. I feel like my patrons, you guys here, y'all actually will spread the word. I see y'all in the comments. Become a patron like I see y'all. But I think in general, people don't, it's like they want me to make it, but then to an extent. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't really want you to make it, but only to a certain level. Because if you really make it, then it's like, this used to be my guilty pleasure. I used to come off work, hit this blunt, drink this wine, unwind to your videos, and now you're on VH1, you're on MTV, HBO, and it's good, but it's not that I feel like I'm in your bedroom keying with you type of connection. But anyway, they went on and on and on. Oh yeah, he's normal, and I would hate for him to start caring too much about his fashions, and they always change. It never fails. They always change. This is the billionaire. They always change. But I'm sitting there like, okay, but you're a billionaire. So you don't have the same concerns that I have. And why would you... Anyway. I just feel like maybe I need to take... Maybe myself and the patrons. I don't know who. Because my partner was like, oh yeah, maybe we can ask the patrons too. But I was like, maybe I should go on to like World Star. And I said, even if I'm dogging myself out, just so that they'll even just take a look. Because if I say, hey, I'm a new artist, can you watch this video and maybe post it? I feel like they won't post it. The only way they will post it is if I act like I'm a homophobe who's like, oh my God, you have got to check this faggot out. It's crazy. This fag. Like, I have to be real. He's rapping. And oh my God, it's a key. Like, I feel like that would be the only way they would even look. It's just crazy the games you have to play to kind of get in there. You know what I mean? It's just crazy. But it's just, I feel like my supporters on YouTube aren't going to do it. I'll post something on Twitter and it might get like 3 retweets. But people will respond to it, and then I'll go to their page and they retweet Beyonce or whoever else they follow. But they won't retweet me. And I'm like, okay, but girl, you realize the only way to get this out to the public is if we work together, and we got to move together. You know what I'm saying? So when I post some shit, if you're on my team and girl, we squadding up, then that means when I post, the girl follows suit and repost it, just so that we can get more eyes on it. You know what I mean? But it's like, I understand where they're coming from, but I'm like, mama, if I was gonna change, I would have did it long before now. If I was gonna be that bitch that's like, oh, I'm famous, oh, then I would have did it at the moment I started getting any type of shine. When the McDonald's video blew up and they featured me on G4 TV and on, what was it? It was the Comedy Central or E. I can't remember what channel it was, but when they featured the video then, if I was gonna gas myself up and be that bitch to be like, oh girl, I'm all that in the bag, that would have been the time. Because that's when the shit was like really popping off. In terms of like, I wouldn't even call that video viral because it really isn't a viral video. But it was a popular video. But my point is, right then, if I was going to be that bitch that people are afraid that I'm going to turn into, I would have already done it. And it's just hurtful that it's like, but you'll give all these other girls that are mimicking me. And you know what's so crazy? And y'all don't think I'm crazy for this. But I know that I'm not. And I don't know that I've ever said this publicly. And I know it's going to sound crazy, girl, but just bear with me. On every level, I've been stolen from. On every level. From the subway to even Beyonce. And that's what I never talked about publicly, girl. But I know I'm not crazy, girl. Just like before when I was talking about YouTube and everyone was like, but why would YouTube be singling you out? Well, I did a whole video illustrating the whole way that they did it. I did a whole video about it. And I know what I knew, even if I didn't have the proof, I'd just be knowing because I'm very intuitive and I'm very perceptive, excuse me. And when some shit is going on around me or to me, girl, I know what's going on. 99.999% of the time, I be on point. I'm very rarely wrong when it comes to my feeling of what's actually occurring around me. Beyonce, let me get on Beyonce on how she stole from me. And I don't give a fuck what anyone says because I know what I know. And what it is because I'm so small by comparison to Beyonce, it's almost like, well, who are you for Beyonce to steal from? Who are you? Like, who do you think you are for Beyonce to take from you? But at the end of the day, she did. And it is what it is. Like, people can, you know, I did a video a year before she came out with Single Ladies called Androgynous. If you go to my video, what I did, Androgynous, I had on a black one piece. And I had on a wig where it had a bump to it. A nice little bump. And then I had a white backdrop. It was just a white backdrop throughout the whole video. One piece, black suit. The hair with the bump. And it was pinned in the back. bump pin in the back, and it was coming straight down. I think the thing that was different was the bang. And I had on a jacket. And the only reason why I wore the jacket was because I thought because I am actually a dude, and I'm not trans. I'm not trying to serve you woman. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I was like, okay, I'm gonna put the jacket on. But if you go and look at Single Ladies, girl, I know she got that idea from me, girl. Because it's my video. It's literally the same fucking video, just with more money and with some real production to it. She got the same look. It's the same fucking thing. White backdrop, black leotard with the wig with the bump to it. How is that not my video that I did a year before she did it? But just because I am who I am, it's going to seem like I'm crazy for saying that. Like, but just go look at the video. Like, don't even take my word for it. Type in Quadear Androgynous. Look at the video. Then go to Single Ladies and tell me that I'm wrong. I knew it right from the beginning, but I just never really said anything because I'm like, girl, people gonna think I'm crazy as fuck for saying that. Just like they did with YouTube. But YouTube was shading me, and I have the receipts to prove it. You know what I'm saying? And when I called them out is when they were like, well, fuck, you know. What it is they're not used to Negroes being able to express themselves and be articulate. So when they were doing me dirty, girl, they never thought that I would be able to put all that shit together and then blast their asses. So they had to, at least in that one instance, do right by me. But you have to think, all the money that I lost because they kept rejecting me. I made not a dime off of the McDonald's video in the height of when it was popular. Not a dime. Not a dime. And so it's like, y'all were so pressed on trying to fight me and make it to where I can't even make money off of what I'm doing, that you guys are going to block me from my blessing, or at least try to. It's just crazy to me. And so anyway, my whole point of even mentioning all that was to say, sometimes you guys, I get exhausted coming up with ideas, seeing my ideas on TV, hearing my phrases on TV. These motherfuckers don't cite me. They never say where they got it from. They never mention my name. You know what I mean? People on YouTube, one after the other, I'll be saying, I'm like, and I'll give them credit because a lot of the girls will say they will pay homage to Mother, but at the same time, after a point, you be over homages. Girl, I don't need no montage, and I don't need a serenation. What I want is what I feel like I'm due for all of the hard work that I put in. And it's not like, oh, I put in, you know, some people create, but there's not a demand for their work. That doesn't mean that their work is not good. It just means maybe you haven't figured out how to get it out to where people will actually watch and then come back and watch again. But in my case, I have an audience. I've shot pilots. I've been featured on TV. Wendy Williams, Perez Hilton, this one, that one. I've been shouted out on multiple platforms. It's just crazy to me that here it is, time and time again, with no management, no agent, no nothing. I've been featured in a big way, but YouTube continuously will put their money behind people who don't even really have the potential. And that's not me being a hater. That's just me being honest. Like, some of these girls that I see, I'm like, this nigga don't even have no real talent. He's just pretty. He's pretty. Which I'm not mad at that girl. If you got a girl, work with what you've got. So it's not really your fault, but I'm just saying for YouTube to sit here and know that you have somebody who is an underground success, who, if I only had the opportunity. But my partner was saying, he was like, well, I think what it is because you just speak your mind and you're not a safe person to go with. And I know he's right about that. And it's like, so what do I do? What do I do then? What do I do? Because if I don't fucking know, y'all. It's the whole thing. But it's going to be alright, I guess. I mean, in my heart, I know it's going to be okay. This is just me kind of being like, you know how it is. How we get sometimes, we want to bitch and moan, and then we got to get back on our grind. This is just my moment. But, I mean, I'm just tired is all. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just tired. And I would love it if I had a situation to where I had a team, a real team, that all I had to do was shoot the material. I wish I had an office or like a studio where there were, like, let's just say I bought a house maybe where I had an architect come in and design it to where it's like, okay, this is the Cooking with Q set. This is the table read set. This is the live show set. Like, I want a whole house that's literally just my workspace. You know what I'm saying? And then maybe on the top floor, no, the bottom floor is where I would want to have my team. So I want to have like, and I want to have it to where they have their benefits. Like, it's like, I have ideas. It's just a matter of getting it out there. You know what I'm saying? But I want my team to have insurance and to get paid well, and I want it to be like Google, how when you see on TV, it's like they want to be there. I want my team to be happy to come to work. Like, I want them to be happy and feel like they're doing something that's important. Like, we're helping to make people laugh, to make people think. We're entertaining people, and I want them to be proud of the work that we're doing. But like right now, it's like doing everything on my own. I'll be doing real good for a second, but when I run out of steam, my body lets me know, like, bitch, you're pushing it. And in my heart, I'll be feeling like one of these days, I literally, not figuratively, but literally, I'm just gonna drop dead. That's how my mind be working. Like, I'm like, you hustling, but you do need to stop to some extent. But in my mind, I'm thinking, but if I took a week off, that would be a week with no content. What can the girls, what in a week, if I don't post something, that means that's a week I'm not working. And so then I just be like, Then it's like, okay, gameplay, let's do this. It's like, it's just be a lot. Never mind all the material that I post or that I do and just don't post because I feel like, girl, it's not good enough. I was tired. I was exhausted. It was this, it was that. And in my mind, I figure if I can see that, then I know they can see it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I gotta actually trash this and step it up. That's it. Like, just step it up. But yeah, I am tired, you know. I feel like Mother Pat is the flagship, meaning that's going to be the video that we really come out guns ablaze. But in general, it's just like, sometimes I'll be wondering, like, why is my audience, who's calling me? Oh, my father is calling me. You know what? Hold on, let me answer this real quick. Hello? Dad?
Yeah, what you up to?
I was just working doing a video. What are you up to? How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing alright. So I put you doing a video.
You did, but it's okay. Is everything okay? You were just calling to check in?
Yeah, everything is cool. And get the blood pressure down now. I can hear that voice. Get the blood pressure down. Everything is cool. Just a shout out.
You know me too well. That's I was literally actually just talking about that.
Yeah, because, you know, right now, you know, when you was talking, I felt that little vibe going up, and I was just giving a shout out, catching you, hey, just a street bit, catching you with your pants down. You always say, no, that's the thing. But remember, you always say, with that, I'm going to call you during the week and this and that. And you know what, bro, myself trying to say, you want to know something? If you keep calling them during the week, every week, then you understand, drop what you're doing, see what your father's doing, and hang up.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? See, I'm not calling you on a set day, because the last time I called you, I don't know, it was last week, it was on a Tuesday.
Uh-huh.
Today is, Thursday.
Uh-huh.
I'll call you on a Sunday. See, to let you see how busy you think you are. Or this is the street saying, I'm going to say, all you got to do is drop a dime.
You're right.
Drop a dime. Who you talking to?
You're right.
You're talking to me, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the thing in a nutshell is I just gave you a shout out, see what you was up to. Next time, well, it won't be no next time, but if I call you and say you drop your blood pressure, you already know I'm talking to you. That's a big speech.
No, but you're right though.
But just like I said, I had you on the top of my mind. I said, well, let me drop this dime on the brother, but I don't want to drop a dime and then you collapse and think there's something matter with me.
No. It's always a joy to hear from you, and I always, want to make sure that you're doing. I mean, it's funny that you called me because maybe a day ago, and I really need to get in the habit of when something hits me to just kind of like move on it right then. Because I thought about you like the other day, because I called my mom. No, wait, when was it? 2 days ago, I spoke to my mother, and then I thought, I want to call my dad just to check and make sure he's good. And then you called me. So maybe the vibe hit you.
We're on the same wavelength. You're my son, I'm your dad. That's what we have in common besides the bloodline. And always remember one thing. Never say what you should do it. Because I'm just saying. God forbid if something happened to me
Bismillah.
yesterday, and then somebody give you a shout out, say your father passed.
Oh my goodness.
You'll be hurt.
Yeah.
Not passed, but you'll be hurt more because you say, I should have called you yesterday. But you didn't.
Yes, sure.
That'll hurt you more than me passing. It hurt me me passing, but it hurt you
that I thought about you and didn't call you.
Right, and you know the main thing would hurt you. My dad's been saying it for years and years. If you feel like somebody calling, and you don't get me wrong, you say you let me down. No, you didn't let me down. You was busy, and I understand. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm coming. I'm gonna be honest to you. I look at it like this: as life is short, I'm gonna cut up in your conversation. I'm gonna cut in there. You know what I'm saying? Just like I just did right now. You said you was taking. I just slid up in there. I didn't even, just like I said, I had to the top of my head. I'm gonna call you. Or you gonna tell me, Dad, like you just said, and I should be ready to get off the phone that you doing a tape or whatever. But the whole thing in a nutshell is, I call.
And you know what? And that's perfectly fine, and I appreciate it because, like I told you, it's always a pleasure to hear from you. And now, because like I said, I was already thinking about you, but with you having called me, now I feel better because I was in my head thinking, I wonder how he's doing. Is he taking care of himself? What's going on? So I'm glad that you did call in. So thank you for you actually acting on what you were thinking. I appreciate that because I was thinking about you, but I just, you know how it is.
Well, don't worry about it. You know what I'm saying? My thing is to say, just pick up your phone and give me a shout out.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And then the thing in the nutshell is, I'm not gonna talk long. I'm gonna let you finish up what you're doing. And I'm doing alright. You doing alright. That's the whole thing, right?
It is, yeah.
And what they say, life goes on. And you say you talked to your sister last week.
No. I spoke to my mom, and it wasn't last week. It was what, about 2 days ago? Maybe it was even yesterday. I'm so bad with that, but it was in the last.
Don't worry about it.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, but you are okay though, right? Like everything is okay.
Yeah, what I'm saying is, as long as you gave a shout out to get the dates, because you know what, sometimes me and more be sick me. What day is? We don't care. When we look on the calendar, we ain't got a doctor's appointment. It could be Friday right now, and I just said Thursday. You know what I'm saying? Because hey, we done our time, and we don't even look at the clock. When we don't look at the clock, is when it's getting late. It's time for us to go to sleep. And after that, I sleep all day anyway. If I ain't doing that, I don't know, trying to get that broody back. I don't know.
Listen, we all need it. We all need that beauty nap.
Right. But anyway, just like I said, I'm just calling, checking in, let you know everything was cool. And just like I said, if you think about giving me a call tomorrow, give me a shout. It doesn't matter.
I will. And actually, I probably will call you tomorrow so I can actually really catch up with you, okay?
Say that to me again.
I said I probably will actually call you tomorrow just so I can really catch up with you without, because like I say, because I'm recording, I can't talk to you as long as I might want to.
Right. So,
but I probably will call you, God willing, tomorrow so we can really catch up.
Okay, just tell me that you're going to call me.
I'm going to call you.
I don't want to talk about them days because you said you was going to call me tomorrow, call me the next day. If something happened tomorrow, then I'm sitting around waiting for you.
Okay, no, you're right. Okay.
I get back with you.
No, you're right. You're right. Well, I am going to call you then. How about that?
No, don't even say that. Remember, if something happened, right? You say, oh my God, I told my dad But
I see what you're saying.
Then you gonna be worrying that too much pressure. Just say, I'll call you. Never tell me when.
Oh, I see. Okay, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
No, but you understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Don't put yourself in a spot. Just say, Dad, I appreciate you giving me a shout, and I get that with you.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
All right, hey, I love you, and I'll talk to you later, all right?
I love you too, Dad. Take care of yourself, and I'm going to speak to you soon, God willing.
All right, now.
All right.
All right.
Bye-bye. Sorry, you guys. I mean, either of my parents call, I have to take that call. And he knows me so well. Isn't that crazy? Right out the gate, how he knew about he said, because he knows. Like, your parents will always know. Anyways, I'm going to wrap this thing up. I love you guys more than words can say. I really do. Especially those of you that are here to really lift me up and to really kind of like be a part of what it is we're doing here in the community. There are no words. There are no words. There aren't any words. I'm not even going to try. I love you guys. You guys really do mean the world to me. So that being said, I love you. You already know the drill. Via Sublime, Jalita Galisan, the best will always come through. And as always, until next time, baby. That's all. Hear it.